So this is going to be new project in the shop. It's a WD-45 diesel that belongs to a friend of mine, and another friend of mine is going to look into. It's missing a little bit. It's got a recent overhaul by a very reputable mechanic. And this came about, it's kind of weird. My buddy Mike that lives down south of me bought a 720 Alice mower up by Huxley. And he told me about that and said he got it at Huxley. I said, "Did you get that from Glenn?" "Yeah, how'd you know?" So I said, "Well, I know Glenn had one. There aren't that many 720s at Huxley, so you do the math." Anyway, without further ado. Okay. Well, that project has made it here. We're going to go out and look at it. Pardon the wind noise. And look at that, he's even going to drive it off the trailer. How cool is that? It's like he knew what he was doing even. Call that enough for now. Hell, Buddy the Dan even showed up. All right, we're gonna start this one with a little bit of a rant. I don't know what's going on with this camera. I have a Volta handle, which is supposed to control it, but is not seeming to work. So right now I am controlling it with my phone with the GoPro Quick app, and I hate that app. Any of you people that have these cameras, leave something in the comments, because this is driving me insane. I get on that stupid app, and all I want to do is run the camera, and it wants me to do 400 other things that I don't have time to do, or energy. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to talk about this WD-45 diesel. This is my buddy Glenn's. He brought it up yesterday and dropped it off when the wind was blowing like crazy. And Mike C, another buddy of mine, is going to work on it. The thought is that it's losing compression on number one cylinder. And so another buddy of mine has a compression tester that should work for a diesel. I'm going to try to get that from him today, and then when Mike comes up to work on it, I'm sure the first thing we'll do is test the compression. He. This is really, as far as WD-45s go, I mean, the paint doesn't look like much, folks, but this tractor, Glenn's put all new rubber all the way around it. Rebuilt the front end, basically. Got new tie rods on there. This is a good test for any of you guys that are ever looking at a 45.
You step on that drawbar and it doesn't give an inch. Let's check mine. It's got a little slop in it, and I don't know how he's got that tight, to be real honest with you, because the bell on this tractor was new old stock. I mean, it's not like that, and it's not done that much work since I put it on. So he's, you know, Don Bradley overhauled this engine. I'm struggling with why it has any issue at all, because Don knew those diesels better than almost anybody. Glenn has got the right factory power steering for a diesel tractor on it. Battery box could use a little help maybe, but I mean, this is it's a solid old girl. I really hope that Mike can get this thing up and going and be right with the world, because it's a nice tractor. It's got a lot of potential. There was a little over 7,000 of these made. I mean, they're not rare, but they're not common either. All right, moving on. Yesterday, I brought the 6080 in here. Had a low tire, so turns out both were low in the rear, and that's what I was concerned about. The front ones don't scare me so bad, but these rears have got fluid in them because this is a loader tractor, and Dad filled them about half full of fluid. I wish he'd have just went ahead and filled them up, because there are times you need that. I've got wheel weights to put on it too someday, but anyway, the point of this is that if you've got fluid in your tires, you need to change the cores and the valve stems about every 3 years. And I did that yesterday. And I got to thinking, because my tires were down to about 7 PSI. One had about a pound more than the other, but that's roughly where we were at. I don't know, we'll get a shot here. You can see that stem has got just a little rust around it, but it's not bad. But if you don't change those, you get a little dripping, and then you get rust, and that's why I don't like fluid. And even though it's 50 degrees in the shop, this thing is a notoriously hard cold starter, so we won't be doing a cold start video. I'm gonna get it going here. It doesn't need to be plugged in about 15 minutes when it's this warm, but anyway, I'm gonna get it out. We're gonna take a load of mufflers back to the parts vault over there. Quick mention here, I've been cutting steel. Pile of steel there. Okay, fall down. That is a fender extension for a farmer. I made 2 sets of those. That set that is finished will reside on this 450 in time, provided we get silly 450 running. We'll walk over here to the other side of the wall. Turn on the light, and those, well, that one's kind of dirty because it's kind of a step, but that is the ones I made and painted and put on the 400. Because of the 16-938 tires, you can see I had to have 2 sets of spacer blocks, but I've got so much of that 1/2x4 steel, and this is a good project, and I know people that need them, and I've got 2 of my buddies in mind I'm making a pair for, and then we're gonna have some on the shelf, and if other people want them, well, we can talk. That's all for now. Oh yeah, I gotta turn this off with my stupid phone.